All right, what is up, you guys? Sage here, Sage, CEO, founder of Legacy Africa, also a growth partner in Office Cube. Last week, I was one of 40 entrepreneurs to be invited out to the Zungu Investments masterclass and so on and so forth. You know, I do the content, I do a decent bit of stuff. About 12 months ago, I couldn't have said most of the things that I just said, but realizing that there is no risk is the reason why I'm able to say the things that I'm able to say today, and why I'm on this generational run where I am unlocking a lot. I'm unlocking a lot of myself, and I'm unlocking a lot in terms of the access to the material world that we seem to desire for some or other reason. First of all, I'll apologize for my audio. There's a lot of technical stuff happening behind the scenes, but yeah, we don't make excuses around here. We execute, and done beats perfect every time. So just want to get this done, get it out to you, and make sure you gain some value from it. So there is no risk. My life thus far is testament to how to the fact that there is no risk. The fact that at the end of the year, I'm probably going to touch oh, easily more than 1 million impressions across all platforms. Um, Hopefully, we get closer to that 1 million views across all platforms with absolutely nothing except for a propped up camera and thoughts, and these thoughts and this proof, this life that we're leading, and these principles that we talk about, and then the execution of them throughout time. So some of the things that I talk about, you will find that I have spoken about before, but as I grow, the value behind the message makes a lot more sense, right? Because it's super easy to talk about it, but to be about it, execute on it, and continually show up is what makes the difference, right? Okay, there is no risk, meaning what? Meaning, for me, there was a stint where there was a lost 1,000 rand in my bank account, and with that lost 1,000 rand, you could just keep it there. You could put it in a savings account. You could do a myriad of things with that. Instead, at that stage of the game, I chose to take that lost 1,000 rand, and I put about 800 towards my 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 gym membership was overdue, and I had to pay, I think, an end of year levy or whatever. So whatever, I put that down. So now I have 200 rand left. What am I gonna do with the 200 rand? Well, I fueled what I call now in retrospect the legacy tour. What's the legacy tour? Great question, by the way. The legacy tour was me going around to the different institutions pitching the idea that I had. The legacy tour was very expensive. The legacy tour ended up taking me out of budget. Mind you, this was the last money that I had in the world, right? And I took it out. Boom. Went out there, went to wherever I had to be. I took the meetings. I linked up with people on LinkedIn, on different social platforms, in person. I Googled emails. I did whatever it took. And then when all of that didn't work, I went out. And I was going door to door, but pop up to certain institutions. I was, hi, who's in charge of this element of things? They point me to the right person. I show up, and you start the conversation, you start the relationship, and so on and so forth. The story still unfolds till this day in terms of what will come of that day. Mind you, on that day I was violently ill when I'd gone out there and done that, but there was no risk. So, oh, I spent the lost of whatever money I had doing that, and what has come of it? So many relationships. I'm now a growth partner with Equity Options in vertically integrating myself in a way where I can produce the very things that I used to go to someone else to produce for me. And that's just one of the things that I have access to through that partnership. The on a personal front, showing up to those meetings, the trickle down effect includes the fact that I was one of 40 entrepreneurs in the entire Bay Area. Like the entire Bay Area is made up of 1.6 million people. I was one of 40 entrepreneurs to get the invite to be able to go out there and listen to this multi millionaire. This guy's worth over 200 million rands. Owns a football club here, not a small one too. He owns Amazulu FC, which is up there with your Kaizer Chiefs, with your Pirates, etc. Um, so I say this to say there is no risk. That's the ultimate thing that I want you to leave here with. I would love to come up with a multi bullet point thing for you to take home, but I just want to reinforce this. I want to tell you reasons why you should believe me, and then reinforce the point that there is no risk. There is no risk. Like I said, I'm about to touch 1 million views within the year. I'm not talking about lifetime. I'm talking about within this year. I'm about to touch 1 million views across all platforms, and I started this propping up a phone on a desk. You could see a canopy behind me, and an old sponge that were propped up against the wall, and there was a bathtub, and there is no risk. Talk to the walls if you have to, over and over again. And eventually, I'll tell you now, my Instagram is sitting on 30,000 views in the last 28 odd days. My YouTube, I've produced 2,400 pieces of content, some of which, like now in terms of my shorts, have touched a few thousand, definitely, like across the month. Yeah, we're definitely creeping around that 30,000 mark, I'm sure. And so on and so forth. There is no risk. What? Embarrassment? Embarrassed to who? Who am I being shy to about? What are they doing? There is no risk. Even with the little financial risk that I'm talking about that I had taken now, bro, look at what. So for example, now assume that I sat on that 1,000 rand, assume that I sat on that 2,000, or however much money I've spent across my entrepreneurial journey on the books, and on transport to the different locations where I had to be there to take the meetings, to acquire some clients, to whatever the situation was, where I was taking money out of pocket in order to show up there so that I could build the personal brand and the reputation that I have, like in real life. Now let's take it away from the social media stuff, like the things that I actually execute on in real life. What risk? What risk? Because at the end of the day, you have an awesome story anyway. Worst case scenario, all of this flops, it goes belly up, and you can go to a friend's house with your tail between your legs. And I'm sure there's at least one person in the world that would put you up on their couch for a couple of weeks while you figure something else out. You sell something else, you get back up on your feet, and you go again. There is no risk. The only risk is public humiliation. That's what we fear most. The risk is, man, what are people gonna say? And people, what are people gonna know? What's mom, dad, Steve, Jason, Zinkita? What are these handful of people gonna say? Because those are the people that you're actually concerned about. And then ask yourself, really truly ask yourself, if you got to the end of your life and you didn't achieve what you wanted to achieve, would you be happy and content in the fact that, oh, I'm not where I want to be in life because I didn't want to embarrass myself in front of Steve? If you can sleep at night knowing that you're not where you want to be because you're afraid of what Steve's gonna say, then by all means, don't do what you want to do. Me personally, I would rather be hated, outcasted on the streets, like with dirt nothing, in pursuit of my goals and my dreams, than to be comfortable and unhappy here, knowing deep down in the bottom of my soul that I could be so much more and I could do so much more. I lose sleep over that. So there is no risk, my friends. Ultimately, I'm not going to keep you here for too long. I hope that you understand that there is no risk. I hope that you understand that whatever you want to do on social media, there's no risk to. Whatever you want to throw a Hail Mary on financially, realize that that money was gonna leave your hands anyway, and there's no such thing as money wasted that is betted on yourself, that is betted on your development, that is betted on, like, keep betting on you, man. Keep betting on you. Bet every single dime that you have to in order to make sure that you can do what you have to do in order to be where you want to be, if it is true that you believe in what you want to do. If you don't, that's okay too. That's also reality of life. That's a part of the life that we live in, is that some people say they believe in what they believe in and they don't actually. To that I say all power to you, but realize very quickly that you don't believe in that and stop wasting your time. And if you can see a reality in which you're no longer doing the thing, then why even start? A question. I'm not attacking anybody, but if you can see a foreseeable future in which you're no longer doing the thing that you're doing or no longer involved with it, why even start? Bet on you. Bet every single lost second of your time on you. Bet every single lost resource that you have on you. Burn the bridges, burn the boats, do whatever it is that you have to do to make sure that there is no turning back, and to make sure that you can go all in. Because when the chips are down and everything's on the table, guns to your head, and you have to perform, you'll realize that they'll pull the trigger and you'll still be alive. And perhaps it is at that moment, maybe you don't realize now, but perhaps it is at that moment that you'll realize, like, wait, I actually have a plan. If this happens, I'll just do that. If that happens, and there's no way where all these three things happen that I would need money to fulfill, and none of those would garner me enough resources to at least cover one of them, that will get the money to cover the other, so I can cover the other, so I can. Maybe it is at that moment that you will realize the truth. And the truth is, say it with me, there is no risk. Thank you for watching Entrepreneurs Legacy Africa. It is for you to connect with other entrepreneurs. The link is in the description down below. If you did in fact enjoy the video, please hit the subscribe button. I've been Sage, standing on business. Signing off.